What's going on, everybody? Hello and welcome back to Total Blast, where we talk about everything Marvel and the MCU. The issue of Steve Rogers' virginity is raised early in She-Hulk episode 1 and even plays a part in Jen Walters' car accident, which finally causes her to turn into the Hulk. Today, we'll be talking a lot more on the topic of Captain America's virginity and find out the lady he possibly had sex with. If this is your first time, please subscribe and enable the notification bell so you don't miss out on subsequent videos. In the post-credit scenes, Jen brings up the issue once more while acting drunk to obtain response from Bruce. In the epilogue, Jen is seen dissecting potential women that Captain America might have gone down with. By the way, Chris Evans himself tweeted various emojis in response to this episode, including one that shows "my lips are sealed." Jessica Gao, the Hulk lead writer, also corroborated by saying the Marvel CEO Kevin Feige had told her about the truth. Canonical answer to the question of Steve Rogers' virginity. This implies that the truth is already out. The fact that Captain America has his first date is known. So the question is, who is it? Thus, we start with our very first obvious suspect, Peggy Carter, Steve's forever dance partner. When Steve slid out of the artificial machine that created Captain America, Peggy Carter at least saw him as a man, but the two never actually had the chance to get up close. Up until Steve went into the eyes, they were constantly distracted whenever something brought them close. Also, Steve's despair was when he woke up from the eyes, where he stayed for up to 70 years. Proves that nothing intimate happened between them both. You might recall Natalie Domier, a private Lorraine in the Strategic Scientific Reserve in London. She's our next suspect. Captain was approached by this woman, but Agent Carter intervened with a block right away and stopped her. Again, taking into account Peggy's subsequent attempt to kill Steve Rogers out of anger for kissing this woman, I don't think that Steve had anything further with this woman. Again, following Steve's rescue mission, where he reached the soldiers from enemy's camp while celebrating with drinks in the pub, there is a displayed poster verifying that Steve's USO tour had been cancelled at the moment. Thus, since there was no more tour, nothing would have happened between the USO dancers. Anyway, I doubt that Steve had any relationship with the dancers where they were on tour. Steve was simply too much of a gentleman to deal with the drama of moving from city to city and hooking up with dancers. However, Steve clearly has feelings for a woman he meets while on a trip. This is a fangirl who is older than the kids who were also his fans. While he was signing autographs for kids, he met this girl. The camera flash, which indicates that there is a photographic evidence of these two contacts, is the key piece of evidence to prove that these two meetings aren't mere coincidence and will form a bigger plot story. Marvel Studios has maintained an unbelievable thorough continuity with the image of Steve that were taken during this time. Both the famous photo of Steve holding the Lucky Star Cab Company Dora as a shield in the Smithsonian exhibit, in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and his F-14 file photo from Camp Lehigh remains framed on Peggy's desk. So, it stands to reason that whatever photograph that was taken of Steve and this fangirl would likewise have contributed to this mythology. Additionally, recall Howard Stark saying that Captain America was kind and awesome to his son Tony, implying that the two were likely close. Here, we now have a clear chain of gossip indicating how Bruce Banner even got to know about Steve's virginity story. Remember, Tony and Bruce have a strong friendship and probably shared a lot of secrets too. Tony must have revealed some private information to Bruce, and the fact that Bruce Banner claims that Steve Rogers is not a virgin is particularly intriguing because it implies that Steve may still be alive in the MCU and that Bruce Banner may know where he is. Back to our fangirl now. We should also mention that this fangirl is played by Laura Haddock, who also appears in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Peter Quill's mother, Meredith Quill, in the Guardians of the Galaxy film. Crazy, right? A question regarding the connection of these two was asked in 2008. In response to the question, James Gunn made the lighthearted suggestion that the Captain's fangirl might have been Peter Quill's grandmother, Meredith's mother. Actors from the 2011 Captain America movie have previously returned to reprise their role as their descendant. In Spider-Man Homecoming, Kenneth Choi portrayed Jim Morita and his grandson, Principal Morita. The principal's famed portrait of Grandpa Jim in his office served as proof of this to us. Once more, to narrow our claims down, Chicago was the location that Steve had traveled to the most by the time he met this fangirl. It is also one location that is closest to Missouri, where Meredith resided as a young woman. So, the timeline almost makes sense. Again, Peter Quill was born in 1980, and if Meredith was 36 years old then, she would have been born in 1944. So, she probably gave birth to Peter's mother 9 months after she met Steve. I am aware that you argue that a young lady should not have children at the age of 36 in 1980. However, Laura Haddock was about 31 years old at the time she filmed the Guardian of the Galaxy's Volume 2 Eagle flashback scenes. In Iron Man 2, the child Tony Stark saved was retconned by Kevin Feige to be a young Peter Parker, who later became Spider-Man. So, the story of Peter Quill can be retconned to such as that Peter Quill has a connection to Steve Rogers. Yet, it is possible. Additionally, behind the scenes, when casting for the role of Steve Rogers, Kevin Feige and his casting director Sarah Hurley Finn called Chris Pratt for an audition. This demonstrates how similar these two Chris have always been viewed by Marvel Studios, raising the possibility that Steve Rogers is Peter Quill's biological grandfather. James Gunn's long-term plan for Guardian of the Galaxy hasn't exactly been revealed yet, but we do know that it involves Peter Quill's mother in some way. One thing James Gunn said that we are right about is the fact that Guardians films have been preoccupied with the idea of dancers versus non-dancers. He confirmed that we are right about the film's involvement with dancers versus non-dancers. The last time we see Steve Rogers in the MCU, he is finally able to dance after telling Peggy that he's unable to dance and suggesting that the band plays something slow. Anyway, I still believe that this fangirl punched the card. Whether or not Steve hooking up with her caused a pregnancy, I still believe this fangirl is the suspect we are looking for. Anyways, tell me what you think about our suspect and who do you think likely punched the card. Please don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one.